Welcome to Spider-Verse Minute, the tri-weekly podcast where we watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 1 minute at a time. I'm Sean Slater.
And I'm his sister Caroline.
And we begin this week with minute 73, which opens with Peter telling Miles to run away and ending a minute later with Miles running onto the roof.
I have titled this minute, Chase Number 3.
Is it? I guess through the subway, through the woods. It's really like chase number 4.
I was going specifically with Prowler. I probably should have specified
okay.
Prowler chase.
Yep, that works.
Yeah, it's the third Prowler chase.
Yeah.
It felt appropriate at the time because I had named one of them Chases On. This is the next chase and sort of that note-taking session.
Yeah.
Not my best title, let's be real here.
But I love Prowler jumps through the window, lands in the living room. It would have been kind of funny if he collided with somebody, like if he ran into, like, jumped through the window and like, landed on a tombstone or something.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
But yeah, I like Peter tells Miles that he has to just run away.
Well, before we get that, I love this like
go ahead.
Frozen in fear moment that Miles has.
Yeah.
Like you can tell it's like, I need to run, but I can't. And then the music just cuts out and Peter just launches Prowler through the wall. Yeah,
I love how Peter just casually kicks Prowler through the wall, as like you said. It's just they do a good job of showing off the Spider People's strength.
Oh yeah,
and how they're kind of holding back here. It happens near the end of the minute when Miles is jumps on Prowler and pushes him across the room, and it's right after Prowler pins him against the wall, and he's just like, nope, pushes against it, and then they just like break through the counter and cause the fridge to crumple. And that it's just it's a little unbelievable because I'm pretty sure with the amount of force that would have required, Miles's feet would have went through the wall. But it's still really cool just seeing them just kind of smash through everything so easily.
So easily. I also just love going back to when Peter karate kicks Prowler out the wall.
Yeah.
It's how just casual he's like, you gotta go, man.
Yeah.
It's just very much yo, you gotta get out of here. And I'm go, run, you gotta go.
And while it was really cool jumping back to when Prowler and Peter were tumbling around together.
Yes.
And they had the front shot of Miles and had the no text boxes pop up. I thought that was a really cool use of that text box.
Very cool use of that text box.
But I also liked how the way they framed it is you could still see the fights going on around Miles, and especially the Peter and Prowler were right at the very, right next to the frame. Right next to the fourth wall and able to, I thought it was framed really well.
Yeah, it's a very cool shot. It's such a good moment too, because we once again see Miles sort of in that panic that we saw last time I remember was when he was going into the lab.
Yeah.
He's what am I doing? What am I doing?
And here he's trying to, use his, like we said last minute, he's trying to consciously activate his invisibility, and once again failing to do it. Seconds later.
Yeah. The next thing I have is when we finally have the fight moving outside.
Yeah, I like how finally everybody listened to Aunt May. When she kicked the first person out, they're all okay,
time.
maybe we should listen to her.
She ain't messing around with that bat.
Yeah. She's got the bat. Everybody just runs.
Did you see that thing didn't even break when it hit Tombstone? We going outside. But one of the things I love is that, like, I love how they at one point choose to focus on Gwen fighting with Scorpion.
Yeah.
Just because I love how when they show Gwen fighting, I really do.
Yeah, it's great. I love the just her, like, how smooth her fighting is, and when she does the really cool backflip knee to the jaw for Scorpion. And I love how it just, like, right as it collides, it just pops up with that big thwack background, and I love when they do those splash screens.
They use them really effectively, and, like, throughout this movie, like, they know how to use them really well.
Yeah,
this movie. And not, like, overuse them or anything. Like, they just
exactly. They put them in where the hits matter.
Yeah,
and they don't linger on them. Like, yeah, it's really good. And I like there was a continuation from the alt scene we were talking about on Friday. Just the last bit of that extended fight scene happens in this minute, and it shows more of them actually fighting in the street. So, like, yeah, so Spider's out in the street fighting with Doc Ock, and Spider-Ham's out there.
I will say, I do kind of wish we did see more of the fighting between Spider and Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Just because that would have been a very cool fight to see. But...
just more fighting with Spider in general. I feel like in this fight, like, Spider doesn't really get a whole lot of screen time. It's kind of just in the background. But this small, like, couple second alt scene is Peter gets, like, there's an old lady driving down the road, and Peter gets thrown into her windshield, and he's just like, sorry, and then, like, jumps off of the car, and so she just, like, reverses and backs up away.
Oh, that's great.
And that happens right before Gwen knees Scorpion. I also like when Scorpion jumps onto the roof, and, like, his legs split, and it does, like, another splash there as well. Another one of the, like, you know, the two quick splashes relatively close to each other is really cool.
Do you have anything else to add about the fight, or can I move on to one of my favorite moments of this sequence, of this minute?
I think that covers the group fight, the stuff I have for the group fight.
I love how they break up this group fight, because it's a pretty, again, we've talked about it last minute, it's a very chaotic fight. And I thought they break it up with this sort of, like, calm-ish moment of, we're in Jeff's car, his police car. He's driving, and all of a sudden we hear the dispatcher call. It's like, we have all nearby officers, I forget exactly what it is, but all nearby officers.
It's, all vehicles in the area. We have a disturbance involving multiple Spider people?
It's like, her little question mark of, like, Spider people?
Yeah, like,
it's like is that the proper term? And it's like, well, they're not all people.
Yeah.
They all are spider-ish. So you're not wrong there. It's just beautiful moment.
And I like the little detail when the screen's just focusing on the mic. Like, I like the little detail it has of the like, speaker part of the mic bouncing a little bit and, like, moving around to show that that's where the voice is coming from.
Yeah.
It was really neat. I liked that little animation kick they did, or little animation flare they did.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit more life to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also love how Jeff's face did not change.
Yeah.
Like, he had no questioning look. He's like, I'm on it. And it's like, okay. See, we're not going to delve further into that call at all. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah, he does get a bit of a, like, determination once he hears that, though. Like, he's like, okay, gotta do this.
So the last thing I have is the chase sequence between Prowler and Miles.
The two things I wanted to touch on that were, I like how when Prowler walks through the door, even though there's a giant gaping hole.
He's a man
in the front wall.
Respects doors.
Yeah, and yeah, there's just a big old hole, and like I'm pretty sure that was probably a load bearing wall, and so the front of that house probably should have collapsed a bit more. The roof still seems pretty intact for what it is.
Peter did some extra work on it, so it was extra safe.
Yeah, he reinforced it.
Yeah.
When Prowler chases Miles into the kitchen, and then he shoves the table into the corner. Miles is really lucky that that's a round table and not a square table. Otherwise, that could have ended a lot worse for him.
It could have been real ugly, real fast.
But yeah, and then like I was saying before, it's really cool how they just how Miles is just able to shove him into the into there, and then like there I think like watching this fight scene, I feel like Prowler's suit enhances, like it's a lot more of an like exoskeleton suit than what I was picturing before, just because he's able to like punch through the walls so easily.
Oh yeah.
And not just like punch holes in them, but like, you know, punch a corner out.
True. Yeah.
And just like the amount of damage he does while like swinging at Miles. But then at the same time, like Miles, I guess not. I was gonna say like at the same time, Miles, like he grabs Miles and Miles is able to kick him off relatively easily, but we did just see Miles pushing through a wall, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah. The one thing I do like that this little flavor that they sort of added into this JC that aren't in the other ones is we actually hear Prowler talk this time.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't speak in the other JCs. This time he does, and I don't know if it's just because he's close enough to Miles that he can speak. Because let's face it, that distortion on the voice does not exactly lead to projection.
That's true.
It's not a very loud thing. It's just like a small detail that I think is cool, that it's like he's talking to Miles while he's trying to kill him.
It's also a little odd that Miles decides to run up the stairs instead of out the front of the house.
Right.
And maybe he just feels like he's more agile than Prowler, and so he's able to take these like turns a little bit easier.
I think that's what it is, because he clearly can.
Yeah, but he would have not been trapped running up under the roof.
Very true.
Had he, you know, he would have been able to at least run out towards where the other people were. Maybe he didn't know that the other spider people were out there, or he was just running away from them, so he only had to deal with Prowler.
I think he was just panicking and thinking, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die.
Yeah.
It's probably that too. Do you have anything else to add?
That's all I had for this minute.
Same here, that is all I had. Thank you all for listening, and we will catch you on Wednesday with minute 74. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.